Perhaps it's all a joke. I don't know. But what I do know is it's a little hypocritical for him to call me out for doing exactly what he's doing in the first place. Coach Greg and popular social media star Jon Walker, he's had enough of Coach Greg. He's calling me out. And so, as you can imagine, I get called out by people all the time. And so I saw this post and I was just going to delete it. But then I noticed 745,000 followers. And I'm like, who is this guy? Trendsetter go-getter. 6'4", 214 pounds of aesthetic muscle. Ain't no role model, sponsored by Young LA. So I start doing some research. Lo and behold, Derek's done a number of videos talking about the cycles he's been on and so on. And so I scroll through his IG account, of which he's calling me out in, and it says, Happy Mother's Day. Went to get a pump last night. I don't know how we ended up here. And so he's smoking a joint at a strip bar where he's showing the strippers that he's at. So I'm not judging. It's okay to go to a strip bar on Mother's Day, but he seems to be glorifying drug use. Trendsetter, he sells clothing, trendsetter on it. He's sponsored by Young LA, and even popular social media stars such as Noel Diesel are liking his posts. Perhaps I feel that he's popularizing or glorifying drug use. He seems to be smoking a lot of weed, going to raves, concerts, and so on, using rec drugs, and talking openly, not discouraging its use. And looking ultra aesthetic, he makes a post on Instagram. It says, Natural bodybuilding is a waste of time. Changed my mind. I can only imagine if I'm a young follower looking up to Jon Skywalker, I would feel that drug use seems to be okay. After all, look how cool he looks. Look at this guy's physique. After all, natural bodybuilding, being natural, that is a complete waste of time. He says so himself. And so I said, does this guy have a YouTube channel? Looked him up, 55,000 followers, however, only 5 posts. Mostly transformations where he was a skinny kid, and now he has a very aesthetic physique. However, he does seem to have been abusing PDs. He has some unwanted side effects, in particular gynecomastia. Perhaps this was a result of taking too much tren, testosterone, and so on, and not knowing what to do to combat the negative side effects. And so that brings me to the post that we're talking about Callum von Moger, who we've seen go on a downward spiral. We do believe it's the direct result of him abusing recreational drugs. Does anyone think that if Calum was in his right mind, that he was sober, not abusing anything, that he would have done the things that he's done in the past several months? And so Buys and Tries, an Instagram channel, made a post about Callum von Moger. I then shared that exact post. Word for word, screenshot it, press post, Buys and Tries clearly at the top. He got this information from Nick Trigilli, who has made comments about this on his channel Bodybuilding and BS, of which he has proof. He has the police reports, text messages, and so on. And so I posted what Jon Skywalker said about me, and 1,200 people commented on this post. And so Bodybuilding and BS posts, I have the police reports and photos and everything in between. We can go all day. Buys and Tries, the original poster writes, first of all, why is he so mad? Second of all, who's he to be this mad? Third of all, Nick is confident in his source and reporting. I talked to him before posting, and I post what I know. If you noticed, I did say allegedly. Also, literally, no one is doing anything for Clout here. Not you, not Nick, and certainly not me. And so Jon Skywalker, for some reason, is only calling out Coach Greg, even though I'm simply resharing the story that other people have spoken about. Is it perhaps because they have a smaller following than Coach Greg? That I perhaps offer the most clout for Jon Skywalker himself to gain from? And so let's go over what Jon Skywalker specifically said so that I can make my comment about what he's saying. Greg Doucette, you a effing clown for spreading fake news about Cal for clout. If I were to post a lie about someone, he has every right to shit on Coach Greg. Anytime someone spreads lies about you, I believe that that is wrong, that no one should have the right to do that. However, in this case, I'm sorry to say it's true. It's not a lie. And even promoting that bullshit scam Turk and protein powder under the post. And so he does bring up a fair point. Perhaps it's not appropriate to advertise your products during someone else's misfortune. However, I do the same post in every single one of my IG stories. After the long write-up message about what's going on, I'll say, don't forget you can buy my supplements, testosterone, the cookbooks, protein powder, training plans, all that kind of stuff. I do it all the time. And so I did in fact go back later and remove that because perhaps it's not appropriate to do so. So that I did in fact remove. He says it's a bullshit scam. Well, I do believe he has the right to share his opinion, but I have the right to say that it's not a scam. That when tens of thousands of people are buying the product and saying it works, getting great results, many of which are popular YouTubers such as Pure Bullfit, who made a video talking about his results from testosterone, and in it he literally says he's not really a fan of Coach Greg, but wanted to get it a fair shake. Wanted to do an experiment to see if it doesn't work for himself. And lo and behold, he was eating his humble pie saying, yeah, it actually worked. Man makes a living out of selling placebo sups and gossiping about other people. And if you really want to know, I made the majority of my money from selling cookbooks. Not quite 100,000, but approaching 100,000 cookbooks. And so the information, in my opinion, because I know the answers, is faulty. It's false. Kind of like a lie. And so should he have the right to post lies about me when he in fact is saying that I'm lying about Calum? And yet I know this to be true and he doesn't. And so why should he call out me? Notice he only calls out Coach Greg. He doesn't call out all the other YouTube channels for talking about Calum, doesn't talk about anyone on Instagram, just picks on Coach Greg. And notice, I have never spoken about Jon Skywalker ever in any video. I never made natty or knots. I never spoke badly about him. Never knew who he was. You're thinking, no way, you don't know who he is. He's so famous. I don't know everyone. I'm 46 years old. I don't follow all these younger kids, younger generation. He's what, 24, 25? He's been popular on social media since he was a teenager. And so he says I'm gossiping about other people. Well, what is he doing when he makes a post and tags me where he's gossiping about me? He's quite literally doing exactly the same thing as he says I'm doing. So how ironic is it that he's calling me out for gossiping, chasing clout, and so on when he's doing the exact same thing? And if he's so concerned for Calum, who appears to have gone through this downward spiral as the result of recreational drug use, why does he himself promote recreational drug use in his own videos? Is that not hypocritical? He's mad at Coach Greg, who makes a video warning people of the dangers of PD use, warns people, be careful. Drugs can be addictive. You might think you're just going to use it once, have fun on the weekend. Before you know it, you're using it every day, out of control. And we all know people who have become addicted to drugs. And so I make a video hoping to warn people, to help people of the dangers of abusing recreational drugs. TMZ wannabe. Is he just trying to get under my skin? Is that somehow an insult? Is TMZ a bad thing? Is it in fact bad to report the news? Is it bad to talk about the negative things that are going on in this world? To help people? Oh, let's just sweep it under the rug. Let's pretend that there's no drug use. Let's pretend people don't ever have problems with recreational drugs. Let's just ignore that. Let's worship Calum. Let's all aspire to be like Calum. Really? We should all aspire to be like Calum, or we should use him as an example of what not to do. And so imagine if Coach Greg wore a shirt saying, trendsetter, would that be the message you want me to portray? I already get shit on all the time for people saying I promote the use of PDs. Even though I explain the dangers, I talk about the negatives and the positives, the pros and the cons. I believe that knowledge is power. I share both sides of the story. And more recently, by using Calum as an example, the dangers of recreational drug use. From the looks of it, he's a young guy who's been successful for the way he looks his entire life, and he's promoting that to look cool on social media. I don't know what his career is. I don't know what job he has. I haven't done that much research. But what I do see is a guy that doesn't seem to deter anyone from using drugs. And so wouldn't you rather see him make a post and say, hey everyone, I know that I seem to promote drugs quite a bit, but really, drugs are bad. You shouldn't do them. Look what happened to Calum. I caution everyone, be safer than last time. Gotta teach him young. And so what do you think of when you see the picture of an apple juice box and a syringe and needle next to it? Does it seem like something healthy that we should promote? After all, it's apple juice, right? Sush, most likely a teenager at this point. And so what does this do? What does this encourage to the people following Skywalker? Do you think possibly Jon Skywalker wants clout from me? That he perhaps was hoping I would do a video about him? Derek, More Plates, More Dates, talked about him and his steroid use, gyno, hair, and so on 4 different times. Does that not make him more popular? Also hangs around with a natural guy, great influencer, Lex Little. Lex Little made a video. Watch it. I was researching. Lex posts, everyone's so mean to each other, heartbroken. I'm sure if you ask Lex, he's not happy that Jon Skywalker made this post about me.
Everyone's been beefing, bro. Like, Jon Skywalker was beefing with Greg Doucette.
Probably not happy I'm making this post about Jon Skywalker in return.
Because my biggest thing is I hate going back and forth on the internet. I hate being involved in drama.
So I think if Jon Skywalker spoke to Lex Little and others and said, do you think this is a good thing for me to post, for me to call out Coach Greg? I think they would have said, it's a bit much. Did you not see his video? Did you not see his message? Does he look like he has a mean spirit, a mean heart? Do you think that he made that video on purpose to try to shit on Calum, to make him look like a horrible human being? Or did he make the video to try and help people? Also, I'm an easy target. I do natty knots on people. A lot of people don't like me because I call out the BS. And so I'm going to attack Greg. He's the guy I want to attack because people get on my side because I went on subreddit and so many people dislike him. They don't like the way he screams and shouts. They don't like his videos. He sells that BS supplement, testosterone. You know, the one that tens of thousands of people say work?
What are you doing, bro?
I'm watering this tree with some fruit.
You understand what's going on here. He's promoting the trendsetter, the watch, the cool stuff, the aesthetics, the young LA, the, hey, I'm hip, I'm cool, I'm against authority. I don't listen to school teachers like that Coach Greg. He used to be a school teacher. What a horrible human being he was. You know, teaching thousands of kids how to be physically active. What a bad message. What a bad role model that guy really is to the world. And so there you have it. That's Jon Skywalker. And so he has a negative opinion about Coach Greg, can't stand me, thinks I'm clout chasing, that I'm making horrible videos, that I'm doing things the wrong way, that I'm bad for social media. But yet, is he any better? And so is he not a little hypocritical? Is he perhaps virtue signaling that he's somehow better than me? His posts are better? Because why? Because he doesn't talk about Calum? Because he's friends with Calum? He won't talk about it? That we should sweep it under the rug because it's his friend? No one should know about the potential harms of recreational drugs. He's promoting them. I'm watching his Instagram stories. I took one day, one random day. It's all I saw about him on social media. Looked at his posts. That is the perception he gives me. Perhaps he never uses recreational drugs. Perhaps it's all a joke. I don't know. But what I do know is it's a little hypocritical for him to call me out for doing exactly what he's doing in the first place. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Check out the boobs. And as always, buy Harder Than Last Time supplements. Click the link in the description. Also, the cookbooks. My most popular seller. What made me the most money. And as I've said for years, I try to make money. Is that bad? I'm not allowed to make money. As soon as you become on YouTube, you can't make money. I always try to make money. Also try to be honest, trying to give you the truth. I am not lying and not bullshitting you. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, get the Circle Diet book, the cookbooks, the coaching plans by me and my team, all kinds of stuff. Click the link in the description, and until next time, I'm out.